Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name's Joe. We are here for the debate today. I'm joined by Ronaldo and Casey for the first time. How are you doing, lads?
Good, thanks, Joe. Yeah,
I'm doing well.
Good. Both very, very enthusiastic today. Very excited, both. Yeah. Good, thanks. Yeah. My hair's getting longer. Your hair's getting longer as well, Ronaldo. I've not seen it like this before. It looks cool, nice and down, sort of a little curtains effect going on. I'm enjoying it. You need to get it over the forehead like that, just over the eyes. Bit emo style. Yeah, nice. Now we're talking. And Casey, you look like you've had it. Yeah, exactly. You look like you've had a bit of a fresh trim, Casey. Looking very smart.
Yeah, my dad got the clippers out and just went to town on it a bit. So it's manageable. Yeah. He kept threatening to do it over the top, and I was like, "No, don't do that, please."
It looks quite good.
Just decide.
For an amateur cut, it's not bad. So we're both going to be, you two are both going to be taking it in turns, defending or attacking. I'm going to say you're attacking Odion Ighalo, saying that we can do better at United. Obviously, we've all sort of enjoyed his time, his enthusiasm, and all that sort of stuff. But the question today is, can we do better than Odion Ighalo? Ronaldo, you're here to say that we can do better than Odion Ighalo, aren't you? You think we can do better than him? Look at him smiling away. And Casey thinks, you know what? We've peaked. You don't get better than Ighalo. Why would we need anyone else? So you're both going to get 30 seconds. I'm going to let you go first, Ronaldo, so Casey can get a feel for how it is here on the debate. You've got 30 seconds, Ronaldo, for you to say why you think United can do better than Odion Ighalo. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let me get my timer ready. Come on, Ronaldo. You've got this, mate. Right. 3, 2, 1. Off you go.
Well, we've all loved and seen Ighalo's little fairy tale story since he arrived, with no expectations. So even pretty much exceeding the expectations he had of him. But are we really going to be relying long term on a 31-year-old striker who's past his peak, when we've got young forwards in the ranks that may get a growth stunted by him? So we are United at the end of the day, and we can do much bigger than him and much bigger things. And
stop. You think we're United, Casey? You think that Ighalo is the best player I've ever had, and there's no getting better than him, don't you? So you've got 30 seconds to defend why you think that Odion Ighalo is the right man for Manchester United, and why you think we should stick with him as long as we can. Obviously, there's rumours at the moment that he might be going back to China at the end of the week. There's talks to extend the loan through certainly to the end of the Premier League season and maybe beyond that. So, Casey, are you ready to tell us why you think keeping Odion Ighalo around is good for Manchester United?
Yep, I'm ready.
He's ready. Come on, then. 30 seconds starts now.
Right, so Odion Ighalo came in. We had no expectations of him, and he's exceeded those expectations. And what do we want from Odion Ighalo? We want him as the third-choice striker behind Martial and Greenwood. He won't limit their time. He'll be happy to stay on the bench. He's basically the Romero of strikers, and we'll get him from a reasonable price. And I think that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for someone who can go further. We're looking for someone who can reliably be the backup. So that's why I think we should keep Odion Ighalo, and we can't do better.
See, there you go. Setting expectations for Odion Ighalo. That's what it is. Setting those expectations for him. He's coming in to be the third striker, and he is the perfect third striker according to Casey. Ronaldo, what do you think to that? Do you think that, obviously you're sort of looking ahead at some of the strikers or looking back to some of the strikers we had in the past, but for the job that he has been acquired to do you not think that Ighalo is kind of the perfect man for that?
He's done well. He can't get around that. He's looked promising. He's been quite clinical when he's at the chance. But as of now, we don't know whether that was just a purple patch and a little bit of a fairy tale run, and then we're expecting more of him, whether we'll be left disappointed, because you know how, revisionist history a little bit, how in the moment football fans can be with him one day and against him the next. So as United Football Club, and where we want to go and where we expected the heights that we're meant to reach, we can't be resting on our morals. And is that the word?
Laurels.
Laurels, yeah. And so we need to, if you're looking to improve, somewhere in, somewhere out, and that's pretty much the name of the game in the modern day. And if you can improve where you can, then we can definitely improve in the forward positions. If we do improve in the forward positions, we can do better than Odion Ighalo never mind as better as he. As good as he's been, we can definitely still do better.
Well, in that case, do you think that there's a case to be made that, yes, he's been okay, he's done a bit more than people expected, but really we should be having the expectations matched that are up here rather than expectations that are down here being sort of exceeded a little bit? You know, shouldn't we be sort of aiming higher than the likes of Odion Ighalo?
Well, if you look at what I was saying, like he's going to be the third choice striker if he comes in. We're buying him if we buy him, it'll probably be 15, 20 million. If we keep him on loan, he's not going to be the starting striker. We have Martial ahead of him. We have Rashford who can play ahead of him. We have Greenwood who can play ahead of him. Spending 15 million on a guy who would be happy to sit on the bench week in, week out, and come on and get his chance and play when he wants. Like I said, like Sergio Romero, you can't sniff your nose at that. You look at, I mean, we're saying, Ronaldo was saying there, it might just be a purple patch, but wouldn't you be happier to spend 15 million on someone who has scored goals for us and looks like he can do the hold-up play and everything else that we don't have at the moment, than going spending 50 million on another striker who won't be happy to stay on the bench, won't have the love for the club that Ighalo has, and might also end up being a bigger flop than Ighalo in a longer-term period?
Yeah, what do you think of that, Ronaldo? We might just get someone else in who you think might be better, but you know, we've almost seen a bit of proof from Ighalo of what he can do. You're not guaranteed to get that from someone else.
Well, that brings up my ceiling and floor argument, though, because you're saying what we've seen, but you could argue that whereas when there's always a little bit of a gamble and a chance when you spend big money within a transfer market, there's always that possibility of the ceiling being higher. With Odion Ighalo, we might have a reasonably comfortable and decently high floor because he's Premier League proven, Watford, and then come back to United. But his ceiling won't be as high as someone that we could bring in for more money. And that's pretty much where United is as a club. I should be looking to exceed fourth place, mid-table kind of quality and go for upper class, world class strikers and forwards, or strikers that have the potential to get there. That's what I think anyway. In response to that, is Odion Ighalo's floor might be relatively decent or high, but his ceiling might not be as high as something that you can get in the transfer market.
You're talking before, Ronaldo, about like potential for Greenwood to get sort of his development hindered slightly by Ighalo. But do you not think that if we spent 40 or 50 or 60 million on a striker, that there will be more of an incentive and almost a duty to play that player because of the money spent on him? Whether if you spend 10, 15, 20 on Ighalo, there won't be quite the pressure to spend the money, or you know, it won't seem like a wasted investment if he only plays 15 games next season. Whereas if you got someone like Moussa Dembele and you spend 60 million on him, and then you're only playing 15 games because Greenwood's coming through, there will be a sort of a backlash against that signing because he costs so much money. Do you not think buying someone cheaper might allow Greenwood to play those games because there won't be such a pressure to play the new signing?
That comes back to the gamble again. It's a gamble that clubs like United are supposed to take rather than resting on their laurels and playing it safe. You got to come out of your comfort zone, and in response to whether it would take away Greenwood's opportunity, the arguments against that is that if Greenwood is the wonder kid that we think he is, then he'll rise to the top regardless, because as you say, the cream will always rise to the top. And regardless if we bring in for the big money and the pressure for them to play, having an embarrassment of riches can never be a bad thing, I don't think. And if anything, it could raise the level of all the players in the forward areas. They could, as they push for places, because good competition is health competition.
And Casey, then, in regard to that, do you think that Ighalo is just a bit of a safe bet? Like, he's come in, he's got 4 goals in 8 games, but you know, a lot of those goals were against sort of smaller teams where you'd expect
he's
him to
under
score
pressure.
Goals. Do you think that maybe it's just a bit? Yeah. Do you think that maybe it's just a bit like it's just a bit of an easy, a bit of an obvious, a bit of a sort of basic transfer that's not going to push the club on? It's kind of accepting where we are at the moment rather than trying to pick up and take the team to the next level. Isn't it just a bit too safe, that Ighalo?
Yeah. Just to repeat the comment, I'm not feeling under pressure. The sun is in my eyes. This is why the current hat has gone on.
Like you look like a high stakes poker player.
Yeah, I'll go get my sunglasses. But no, the fact is this argument boils down to the debate of what are we expecting from this striker that we're signing. Like, obviously you're saying we could sign better, but then if you're looking at better than Odion Ighalo, are you looking better than Marcus Rashford? Are you looking better than Mason Greenwood? Are you looking better than Martial? Are you looking for a striker that can go above all of those? signing Odion Ighalo is signing, like I said, the third choice striker who you can say is reliably there. And the fact that Ighalo brings other stuff, he brings like a motivation. Like you always know he's going to be motivated to play for United because he loves the club. He deep down, he loves the club and he wants to play well for him. And the fact is like when you're looking at the areas that we could spend money on, would you want to be spending 40, 50 million on a striker when we have these options available? Or would you want to be spending that on a winger? Would you want to be spending it on a defensive midfielder? Do you want to be spending it on a centre back? Like when you're looking at the options available, 15 million for Odion Ighalo, we get 3 more years out of him. He'll always be happy to play. He'll be happy to get those minutes in. He's obviously scored 2 goals in the Europa League, scored 2 goals in the FA Cup. So he shows he can do those in those peripheral competitions where you want to rest players. That's maybe where we want to play him. Maybe we want to play him in those competitions because they're the competitions where we want to be able to rest our best players. So when we come back to the league, we can play Martial, we can play in Greenwood, and they'll be at the full fitness.
Yeah. Do you think that Ronaldo, like, if we are spending this big money, is there an expectation that they would come in to replace Rashford and Martial? And maybe we don't have that kind of money, especially this summer. Obviously, I don't think anyone's here saying that we should get Ighalo on a 5-year contract, and let him retire at United. But I think the expectation is that he might sign for the rest of the season. I think we can all sort of agree on that. That was the loan that was argued and agreed in the first place. Obviously, that sort of changed because of the cancelling or the postponement of the season. But if he was to sign for just, say, another year, do you think that, maybe United don't have the money to buy Sancho, a defensive midfielder, a centre-back, and 60 million on a striker that you think would improve the forward line? Do you think that someone like Ighalo is just a perfect kind of stopgap between now and when the market kind of restabilises in 12 months?
Well, that kind of question, Garner, is a complete different question than what the debate
Well, I'm pushing you to your limits. That's all I'm doing.
Because stopgap, maybe that could possibly work. But if you're talking about in the context of long term and what can better United as soon as possible, then you're probably looking at you can look at better ones. You can look at because if you're looking at it the same way that he says there's a gamble there's a kind of a gamble or incentive when you spend big money for higher quality players.
Yeah.
What's to say there's not a gamble with keeping Ighalo and his form? Because it's easy to kind of have a little bit of recency bias and see how well he did to begin with, and then feel like that's his floor and that's the level he's going to be playing at for the rest of the time. We don't know, and it's just that's the thing with football, you never really know. So I don't know, I think it's a gamble either way. But Odion Ighalo, 31 years old, past his peak, I feel like you'd be hard pressed to say that United can't do better than that, if you're being honest.
Right, we just had a small bit of technical difficulties there. Casey's router went, so I'll ask him the question again. And there's part of me that thinks you were just trying to avoid the question, Casey, because it was an absolute dinger. Do you think that now might be the perfect time to let Ighalo leave? He's come in, he's exceeded expectations, he's got 4 goals in 8 games. We found out this sort of whole history about him being a United fan growing up, where he's come from, all this sort of stuff, the sort of cult status around him. Do you not think now might be a perfect time to go, you know what, you came in, you did what you did, let him go and let him sort of ride off into the sunset a little bit in what has been one of the most unexpected and sort of impressive bits of transfer business in recent years, almost a sort of Henrik Larsson style of leave before you've overstayed your welcome kind of thing?
Yeah, but wasn't Henrik Larsson wanting to be signed afterwards? That's probably the good point to make there. Like, wouldn't Ferguson have signed Henrik Larsson because of what he did for the club? Like, the fact is that, yes, you can say, like, the problem that this debate is characterised as, can we do better than Odion Ighalo? And in general, would you say we can get a better striker than Odion Ighalo? Yes, there are better strikers than Odion Ighalo. That is not that, but in that angle of the debate, I've lost. I admit that I've lost. But if I characterise it in the fact that, and I'm making it this way for my debate, if I characterise in the way, if you can you get a striker for better price, who obviously has come into the club and scored these goals and shown some sort of pedigree, has got a motivation for the club that will transfer throughout the club, and probably people will feel like better and more motivated around him because they want to play. He wants to play for United, and they want to play for United because of it. And would you say that you're going to get a better deal than what you get to sign like say we've been linked with Josh King, that'll probably end up being 25, 30 million, nearly double what we paid for Ighalo. Like, yeah, you could say, oh, if he goes now, his record won't be tarnished and won't anything. But what do we expect? Like, if he scores this many goals if he scores like maybe 8, 9 goals as the third choice striker, and he only plays in cup competitions to give people a rest, he's doing his job. And I feel like that's where we say, is he the perfect signing for United as that sort of player? And I think he is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if you put in the expectations on him from what you want from that type of striker, maybe he is the best we can do. Right, that's going to be all from us. But before we go, you both get a final 30 seconds. You've heard what the other ones had to say. Your internet's crashed once, Casey. Let's not. You know what? Let's not back out of this again. Ronaldo's going to go at you first, and you're going to fight back at him. So you got another 30 seconds, Ronaldo. Casey, you got to sit there and take it. None of this fake router business. Just 30 seconds. Yeah, pulling the Ethernet cable out the back of it. Are you ready, Ronaldo, for your final 30 seconds wrap up on why you think United can do better than Odion Ighalo? He's ready. Right, off you go.
Obviously, if we're looking at the question in face value, can United do better than Odion Ighalo? Can you really say no? Of course we can. It's Manchester United after all. And he's done well so far, but we can't guarantee how long it will continue. He's 31. We should be aspiring for bigger and better. And this club should have an embarrassment of riches and a lot of healthy competition in the forward areas. And we should be constantly striving to get better and better. And so, can we do better than Odion Ighalo? Yes, we can. And should we? I think we should.
That's it. Stop it. You've heard what he's had to say, Casey, there. So you've got your turn for 30 seconds to round out your argument as to why you think Odion Ighalo is the perfect man for Manchester United at the moment. Are you ready?
Yep.
Off you go.
Okay, so Odion Ighalo, if we look at it on face value, like Ronaldo said, yes, there are better strikers. But for the role that we want him to play, he's perfect for. He's happy to play the role. He's perfect for the price. He's perfect for the fact he won't hinder the development of the other strikers we have. He's perfect for the fact that we need to spend money on other areas of the squad before striker. And he's perfect for the fact that he's a guy who loves the club, and that sort of motivation will leak through the club and everyone will be motivated by him. And I feel like to have that in your club is something completely invaluable.
Completely invaluable. So you get to decide at home whether Odion Ighalo is completely invaluable and whether you think Ronaldo won that debate or whether you think Casey won that debate. Where is he? There he is.
Below. I don't know.
You tell us at home. And if there's any other debates that you think we should be having on the channel, let us know as well. Thank you very much for joining us, lads. Casey, very impressive first appearance, I must say. And Ronaldo very much getting into the swing of the things. Got some new wallpaper just for this video as well, so that's very good of you, Ronaldo. Cheers for that, mate.
Very
yeah, it's very nice indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us at home, everyone. And thank you very much for you two, like I said again, for joining us for this debate. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.